Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Hey, welcome to Late Night with Cap, and this is JT Gunn, and of course, it's Christmas is in the air. It is December, and this will be a Christmas style show. We've got a Christmas topic. We've got some Christmas bad design, and I think Bigfoot's got some Christmas going on too. But I do have a guest coming on here soon. I'm excited to have him part of the show. He's been in the chat a few times. He's come on other friends of ours shows, and people do get a kick out of him. And we'll find out something because he likes to post pictures of dogs. So I'm gonna try to figure out what the deal is with the dogs. But anyway, just so you know, there will be 2 shows in December. It'll be this show here, and then it will be one more show next week with Dork Wars. He will be live with me next week, and we'll do a similar show, another Christmas show, and then I will take 2 weeks off for the remaining of the year. I might do a special New Year's one, so look for that. But anyways, I think he's ready. So what's going on? And bring on Abomination AJ. It's good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. I am ready. What's up?
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you put on the sweater? Did you just put on the sweater?
No, man. You saw me put it on. You saw the before and after. You saw the skin.
Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you. Looks like you're are you ready for the holidays? Have you done any shopping? Have you done anything like that?
No, I'm away from family. I'll send some stuff here and there.
Okay.
I stopped giving people gifts a long time ago. So
okay.
It's not about the grown folks, it's about the kids. So nieces and nephews get stuff, but hey,
I like that. I like that. I've heard a lot of people have done that before, where they say we're just going to give gifts for the kiddos, and for the adults we're gonna buy either booze or go on a vacation, and that's what we do. So, how many nieces and nephews do you have? Do you have a few? Do you have to buy a lot of gifts?
Hey man, too many. My brother needs to stop. That's why I don't have any, because there's enough of them continuing the bloodline right now. So,
all right. Okay, so you're good then. You don't have to also continue. Is that what you're saying?
No. You mentioned dogs, man. I got the 5 dogs. Those are my kids. My family know those are our kids. That's who we spend a lot.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of your dogs. Those are great. Now all 5 of them are yours?
Yes.
Really? Yeah. Wow. And I'm sure have you raised them since they were puppies?
No, we've adopted all of our dogs. So
okay.
And that's just one of my philosophies. Adopt first, shop later. Do your your responsibility, do your part to the earth to take something, care for something and less fortunate, make their life better. And after you do that, grow with the dog, get more experience, then you can go out and be picky. Then you can go shopping.
I like that. Now, were they all rescue dogs, or were they from a rescue? They were?
Yeah, I got them all out of shelters, rescues. The last puppy, the little pup we got, he was just a stray. And we just like, man, we can't see you out here in this terrible weather. He's out here battling possums at night, and nah, man. So we had to took him. Our dogs love him. So yep, we got 5.
Right. Very cool. And I'm assuming they all get along.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, that's pretty cool. So everybody's a little nervous sometimes. Like, I have a dog, and I take her to like this camp with other dogs, so she can actually interact with other dogs. And they're always like, this dog doesn't do very well with others. So they'll keep them separated. So it's good that they all get along, and that's good that you do that. I think that's that you care for animals and dogs. I think that's fantastic. I think that's pretty cool. I like when you post the pictures of them too. I think that's kind of neat. Get to see a little bit into your life of your dogs and your family. So I think that's fantastic, and that's what the holidays are all about, right? And I just took a little mini vacation with mine, and we went and toured Dallas. There was some cool Christmas stuff around that we that we checked out. We checked out the zoo, and we checked out the Gaylord Texan. They had some really cool Christmas decorations inside the hotel. That was pretty neat. So it's always good to do that. Do you walk them all together, the dogs?
Yeah, I walk them a lot. We hike a lot. I was gonna say I haven't really been to Dallas besides like some meetup. But besides
Some
that,
meetup.
yeah, it was. Yeah, you know what I'm that. Yeah, Geeks and Games meet Nerd Riders, Eric July, all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's a big Christmas. Up where I was, they had a town that was literally decorated of all Christmas. It was pretty cool. But so you have some people saying hi to you. So let's see here. R2 you met in the backstage. He says yo. So good to see you. We got Jacob Ironside coming in saying hi. Good to see. And we got Conan the Barbarian. Greetings, everyone. Always good to see Conan here. And we have Alaska Jeff. Howdy. He's pretty close to the North Pole. He told me he knows a town in Alaska that gets all the letters to Santa Claus.
Hey man, I love everybody. Okay. But Alaska Jeff, I love that guy. Good dude, man. I think y'all did the was the cryptid stream.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, man. I'm all into like the supernatural and stuff. I love animals. So when you kind of mix across those worlds of like
okay.
Yeah, the supernatural and what is it, cryptozoology, all that good stuff. Like
yeah, we for some reason, I don't know how it started, but every show ends with some type of thing with Bigfoot. So hopefully you can have a story to tell or something to share about that. So I don't know how, I don't remember how, but it just ended that way. So I did one or two, and my fans, I for a couple shows I didn't do any, and the people in the chat were like, hey, I want to know more about Bigfoot. Why can't you tell me this stuff? Why don't you do it every show? So yeah, I enjoy it as well. Like the crypto thing is weird. How there's so many out there that so many stories out there that people either make up or really believe that are around, and it's fascinating to hear them. So let's see here. R2 just said JT gives my little dog gas. Yeah, well, it's because he was eating my kids' snacks. Let's see. Yeah, my dogs were pitiful, pathetic bastards until I came along.
Yeah, you like that.
Yeah, they look. Dogs are really good at looking sad, right? like you can give them the world, and they'll still find one thing to where they're the saddest thing in the world, and until you give them whatever they want, then they're kind of happy. So
you tell them,
funny.
No, you don't need it. Go.
They need everything. Are your dogs well trained, by the way?
Yeah. Me and my wife train dogs. So
okay.
Please tell me if you hear dogs in the background, because she's taking them out like now for the final round.
Okay.
Our
Final
dogs,
round.
And our client dog. So we got somebody, man, that he a wild boy. Every dog that move, he got to react. And he's not here for training. He's here for boarding. So
you train dogs too, and for other people?
Yes. Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I need a trainer for mine. I'm trying to do it on my own. I'm trying to like learn off of like YouTube and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, I'll try this one. And some things work and some things don't. So that's pretty cool. Jacob usually brings in these jokes. I don't know if you've seen him already, but he's got one for us. That's Christmas. What's Santa's favorite snack? Crisp Pringles.
I like it. Keep it coming, man. I'm lame. I'm cringe too.
Well, you know what's funny is I knew that he was probably going to do that. So I do have I do have some actual Christmas jokes here. One says, what do snowmen wear on their heads?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. What
do snowmen
wear? Or the chat, you could answer too. What do snowmen wear on their heads? I have a stack.
Okay.
You don't know?
know. I don't know. I give up.
Okay, well, we'll give it a little bit here for the chat to guess.
Okay,
So I'm still saying hi. So we got Teresa saying hello. We got Beard of Liberty coming in. Good to see you, man. New co-host of the with me and R2 on After the Weekend. So no one's gonna answer. What do snowmen wear on their heads? It's ice caps.
I was just like, what are hat words? I'm like bowlers, snow rollers, like what?
Bowlers, snow rollers. They wear hats. Well, yeah, ice hats. Oh yeah. R2 says, "Ooh, a Dreamcast in the background."
Oh, yes.
Okay. And a GameCube. Some say the GameCube is one of the best Nintendos out there.
It is, and some would say that the 3DS. Don't make me pull this back. Forget it. I'm already pulling that bad boy out. But the 3DS is the best handheld Nintendo system.
Okay. So you think the GameCube is the best system?
No. As far as
Okay.
best system, that's going to be a PlayStation system for me. I mean, the easy to go to is PS2. PS3 was a good time though, especially for online gaming. Now, a lot of people could say that's what kind of killed gaming. I just think companies lean too much into one direction and they just kind of stay there. So I think that's the issue with the PS3, but PS2, amazing. Almost every game was a hit.
You know what's cool about the PS2 is it was a brick. Like I had a PS2 and that thing sat on my TV. It fell off the TV. It fell. Beer fell on it. We had whiskey fall on it. We had food stuck in the DVD drive. I believe we had to replace quite a few of the controllers, and it still worked for like 10 years. It was like a 1995 Chevy. It literally lasted forever, and it was amazing. I couldn't believe it. Cannoli Sasquatch, good to see you, buddy. He says your sweater is fire.
Thank you, Cannoli. Yeah, man, I love the Grinch. Okay, I love the Christmas is weird. I'm not a big holiday person, and I think it's my dad's fault too, because as soon as I think like Thanksgiving is over, he just started playing Christmas music. He's dancing around the house singing. My mom's always decorating grandma, like the family that was around. So although I'm like a Scrooge on the outside, inside I'm like I got this little warm heart. That's like, man, I want to love somebody this season. I want somebody to bake some cookies.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk about it here in a little bit, but Christmas brings out a lot of joy in people. So I have one more joke. You get two.
Okay.
It's another Christmas style one. What do you call a blind reindeer? Again, for the chat, this is a joke. What do you call a blind reindeer?
Man, so I'm.
You ready?
Hold on. Caribou is stuck in my head. That's not
That's
right.
a different type of animal.
A reindeer? It's
reindeer. Well, yeah. What do you call a blind reindeer?
A blind reindeer. See, chat. Y'all too. Chat. I don't want to give up so easily on
there
this.
There should be 9 of you here. I know it's not. I mean, I love every one of you. So hopefully you can answer the question here.
Yeah.
What do you call a blind reindeer?
Can we get a hint? You
You
can say no. You can tell me no.
There's your hint. Crasher. We got Crasher. Oh, that's a good one.
That's nice.
Cannoli says you're the Black Scrooge. How progressive.
Hey, the mainstream say we want a Black Scrooge. I got him. I'll make some money now. I'll bring it back over here to the Iron Age.
All right, here we go. Here's the answer, and it looks like everybody was shy. No idea.
Oh, that was terrible. That one's terrible. Oh man.
There you go. Those are my 2 Christmas jokes for the night. Now, makes sense, right? No, I have no idea.
It's smart.
Blind reindeer. Yeah.
That's a very intelligent joke.
Yeah, and I got some weird face, red, droopy eyes coming in. I don't know. Is that an emoji? I'm guessing, Beard. Okay. So you said you buy gifts for the little ones, which is fine. Now, some people on the chat, you might buy for the older adults. There's some good gifts out there. Now, I do a little thing on the show, and I normally show some weird product that's out there that you can maybe possibly purchase for your loved one. So I'm going to show you something like that, but that might be good for Christmas because it's cold outside. So and I call this segment As Seen on Cap. So a lot of people buy clothes for their loved ones, right? And a lot of people buy heaters for their loved ones, like space heaters, right? You know those. How about a space heater vest that will like warm you up while you're outside?
I don't need it.
You don't need this? I mean,
no.
I mean, it looks pretty cool.
I'd be too afraid of something going wrong.
He's got these heated things here.
Sure. No? I don't want to burst into flames.
No?
No.
I mean, look at this guy. He's excited to wear the heated
yeah.
No?
I bet. Nah. It's controlled by a phone.
Yeah, you can sync it with your phone.
No. You trying to make a snow angel and little water melt, get inside. You out there frying in the snow.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, it looks like I mean, to others out there, its output is pretty high. It can get up to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, we don't need that in Arizona. I don't think you need that in Texas, right? You're in the southern part of Texas. So.
Yep. And we don't need that. Too much comfortability for humans, man.
And look at here's your weight size. Look, yeah, I don't know. Well, these guys are wearing it. I mean, they look like manly men. I don't know. I just love how excited this guy is about wearing literally a shirt of fire. Look at it here. It says you can cook meat and stay warm. You could. Yeah, my own space heater. Yeah, Beard. That's what I'm saying. It's like a 2-in-1 gift. So
man, you just gave me the visual. You know how the guys sell like the DVDs and all that in the trench coat, and you have that on. You got some steaks just hanging up. You like, hey, they ready yet?
Oh yeah, you could, right? You could sell some sirloins out there for the people. Yeah, flame on. You can say that. Let's see. Cannoli says, "I'm 6'5". I give off enough heat." Yeah. And Tabitha's already in. Tabitha's already in here asking for Bigfoot news. So she's gonna have to stick around to the end. But it's good to see you, Dreaming Tabitha. Always good to see you. Well, here's another reindeer joke for you. What do you call a 3-legged reindeer? A tripod.
No, Jacob, not that one. Not that one.
That's a no. Okay.
Yeah, they get away with any quadruped with only 3 legs. A tripod.
Yeah, Jacob,
I don't know.
Yeah, just Beard of Liberty. So space heaters run in your family? I'm not sure what Jacob's saying there, but anyways. All right. So, well, there was a question here about your dog. Everybody wants to know what it got a little known facts about your dog. Got any? Like, is there something special about him?
Nah, man. There's nothing that I can think of that I would think humans don't already know, except
do they range in sizes?
I mean, yeah, like I think everything about dogs for the most part, people kind of know. I'm not I don't know much about the nutrition, just dog behavior.
Okay.
The only thing that I can say is I mean, they're not really made for our lifestyle, our civilized world. So understand the dog that you have, take into account the breed, but the personality as well. Their likes, their dislikes, their quirks, while recognizing their needs and try to meet those in a civilized world.
Okay.
A lot of my clients, I have to tell them like the walk is That's the man-made version of a walk. Wolves hunt, they patrol territory, they walk for miles, but they walk with a purpose. So walk with a purpose with your dogs, be seen as the
Okay.
leader in their life, and that will take care of a lot of
So
problems.
what do you recommend as a purpose for a walk? So I take my dog out for a walk because I know she likes to hang out with me in my office all day long. She does not like to leave my side. So I work from home, so she likes to hang
Mhm.
out with me. So I like to take her out so that way we can get some fresh air. I get to stretch my legs. She gets to kind of explore the world. She's only like 5 months, so like she gets to see the world and kind of interact with other things. Would that be a purpose, or do you think I should do something different?
Um, no, do what you're doing, but as far as purpose with it, so our dogs, we've had multiple dogs in like one bedroom apartments until we got our house now. And what I mean by meeting those needs is dogs are not built for, like you just said, man, an office or just being in this one bedroom for all day. They need to go out. So when we go out, it's not like, oh, you go use the restroom, go do what you want to do. Walk your dogs on a leash first. That way you don't help them to build any bad habits like running away from you, chasing things, marking on stuff that they're not supposed to or without permission. So with the purpose is uh me as the leader, I'm deciding we're going this way. Okay, we need to
Mhm.
patrol in that direction. So
Yeah.
your dog
Okay.
is walking with you, and then give your dog breaks. So some commands that we teach our dogs: break means you're done with the command. So when I say let's go, it means move with me. When I tell you break, it means that they can take a break from moving with me and they can kind of move around a little bit, do their own thing. That's when they pee, that's when they poop,
Oh.
that's when they sniff.
Okay.
And then, okay, once they get that out the way, then let's go. Then we start back walking. And that just teaches your dog or conditions them and make sure, okay, we have a relationship. You're responding to me. You're giving me what I need. You can earn your freedom. So our dogs are trying to be off leash. And that command is recess. So we tell them recess, which means go play. Go away from me. My mom used to tell tell the kids when we were little, she used to say, go play, stay out of grown folk
Get out of
business.
here.
Yeah. So you tell your dog, get away from me. Go be a
Okay.
dog. Just don't be disrespectful
Now,
to anyone.
okay, that I mean, I like that. We when we were training our puppy, I mean, I say puppy, she's like 35 pounds, but and she's like
Hmm.
5 months, so she's still a puppy. So we've been taking her to like one spot of the yard to do her thing, right, with the
Hmm.
leash, and she's now we can like not we don't have to put her on the leash. We can literally she literally goes to her spot. So
Hmm.
she's gotten better. She's still a puppy, so she's still learning. She tests her boundaries every now and then. But so what do you when's the point where you can't train a dog? Is it like all the time, or is there a because people say you can't teach a dog old tricks or old
Yeah.
dog tricks or something like that. Is that a real thing, or can you train a dog at any time in their life?
I believe you can influence a dog's behavior at any point in their life. I think we're training a lot of people, like
It's not
people
really
have different.
training. It's like conditioning, like you
Yeah,
said.
it's more like conditioning and just teaching them this is how you live with me. This is how we operate in this pack. And yeah, we get older dogs that are not here for training, but they think when I take you out the cage or the kennel that they're supposed to like paw at it or burst through. Like, no, I open it, you stay there until I tell you let's go, like move out. So not being demanding, you'll see a lot of older dogs are demanding, but they practice these negative habits for so long. Um, so I mean, it's something like that. You can always influence a dog's behavior. Dogs are canines are the most widespread predators because they adapt so well to their environments. So dogs will adapt to the pack. Uh,
Hmm.
so I mean, there you go. But if you have an older dog, like I'm not going to teach it to run and like really chase something or jump on something. Like it's just not in them. So
Yeah. Okay.
robot. Like dogs are not supposed to just come pre-programmed with all of
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
these things. So,
Some like know up to 250 words or more that I've
yeah.
been
So
told.
and when I say dogs don't come pre-programmed with these, they don't come pre-programmed with these human commands. Now, these commands or these obedience behaviors that we teach them, they are rooted in something natural that they already do. But again, that's when you have to recognize the dog in
They
front
have
of
like
you.
repetitive, right? You have to be repetitive with it. So like
You have to,
they
consistent. I would say consistent.
yeah, it's like that one I can't remember his name now, but where he rang the bell and he would give him food every time. And then
Is it?
every time he rang the bell, then they started salivating because they knew they were going to get.
Yeah. What is that name? Pavlov? Is it
I
Pavlov?
think so. Yes, I think that is it.
That guy.
Well, this is fantastic. I'm talking about dogs. We could probably go all night just about dogs, but we do have a special. This is Christmas, so I do have Christmas stuff to talk about. I love hearing about the dogs though. This is fantastic. Yeah, Rick says Pavlov's dog. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I agree though. I think if you're consistent with it, then they'll be right there with you. And I do believe that it's not really a bad dog isn't because of the dog, it's mostly because of the owner. So
yes, we're not going to stay there. I'll do a dog training sometime.
All right, we're done, folks. We're gonna jump things, and we're gonna go into the fan favorite of the show, and that's bad graphic design, and it is a holiday special one.
JT, real quick.
Yeah.
Tabitha had a comment. I don't know if you pulled it up already, and that's what I'm about.
Which one?
So today's episode is about werewolves, not big feet. Nah. Sasquatch, they're my people. They're my supernatural people. Cannoli.
Yeah, cannoli.
Werewolves.
I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have known that. I would have invited you on that show. We'll figure something out.
Yes,
please. We'll do something. All right, we'll do something. I'm already having a good time, so we'll figure something out. Now, like I said, we do have on this show we like to laugh at bad graphic design, and this one we're gonna do not so great toys for Christmas. So, Merry Christmas, by the way, again, and Happy Holidays. There's Cap with Diamondback putting on the nice little shield on the tree. I actually have a tree with a shield on it, which is interesting and fun. My wife did that for me. But tonight we're going to go over some not so great toys. Did you get a lot of toys for Christmas? Did you get what was your favorite thing? What was your favorite? Can you remember what your favorite was? You see those videos where kids like freak out and they start screaming.
I had so many toys. I was spoiled. I was privileged. All of that good stuff.
Wait, you were privileged?
I was so privileged, man. It's ridiculous how much stuff I owned. And didn't appreciate it for a while. Until you get older.
You don't get that. You get that a lot when you're older. Like, oh wait, I gotta buy all this stuff now.
Yeah. Man, you making me choose. Okay, if I had to choose one toy. Although I'm big into animals, well, I guess it's okay. I had Roboraptor. I don't know if y'all remember Roboraptor. Yes, but I had a Roboraptor, and I think that is my favorite toy to this day amongst so many. Now, if you're asking me the most memorable Christmas gift that I've gotten, one Christmas. My mom, I don't know if it was my mom, my dad, or my dad was the nerd, so he probably influenced her or encouraged her to get this. But she bought me Beyblades. So I had Beyblades and she bought me a stadium. They bought me a stadium for Christmas, but not just any Beyblades. Somehow she had the actual main cast. So I had Tyson, I had Max, I had Kai, and Ray. So I had the four main dudes and Beyblades, and man, I thought you couldn't tell me nothing. I used to rip that Beyblade every day. I was like, Bit Beast, respond to me. Am I not strong enough? Am I not worthy of your power? Like, jump up out of this little spinning top and
that's cool. That's awesome. That's really cool to hear that story. I think if I can remember, one of the things I was super excited about one year, I got I might be a little older than you. I got the Batwing with and where like you had the claw where it would fly in and you can pick up Joker. So not only did I get the Batwing, but I also got the Batman, the Joker, Robin,
Nice.
Penguin, like I kind of like you, like the whole set. And I thought that was so
Yes.
cool because I had the Batmobile and a different version of Batman. Batman had like so many versions back in the 90s and 80s. It was like Batman Scuba, Batman Baker. It was amazing how many different Batmans there were, but like it was fun. So I get what you're saying. Very cool. Vanquish AZ says Power Rangers was his Megazord was his big memory for him.
Man, so, I had a Megazord. I had the Ninja Storm Megazord, man. That was taking me back. I knew it was gonna happen, JT. I knew it was gonna happen.
All right. Well, this one, these were toys that they thought they were good ideas, but they really weren't. So the first one is lawn darts. Mm-hmm. So have you seen lawn darts before? So they're weighted spikes that fly through the sky, family friendly yard game. And it wasn't until 1970 that the CPSC went with the ladder, banning jarts is what they called them for the first time before reaching a deal with manufacturers to avoid selling them as toys. Even though some 6,000 kids went to the hospital in the 70s and 80s with the related injuries, included 3 fatalities. They were banned for good in 1988 and urged consumers to destroy any remaining games. So these were darts that you would throw in the air and they would land in that little circle there.
Yeah.
Not good, right? For kids.
I don't know, man. Did they market it actually to kids? Because I mean, you still got stuff like this around where kids will find ways to injure each other.
In the 70s and 80s, yeah, these are probably marketed to kids. They're probably, look at you could throw, I bet you could probably. I don't know if these still exist though. R2 he worked at a hobby shop. Maybe he can tell us if these are still around. So this was a yard dot you would throw in.
I can definitely see some kids, boys, we were crazy. Some dude laying out in the yard and was like, all right, I won't hit you. I promise. Like you trying to aim for like right here, next to the head, and somebody actually take one to the soft spot.
That was probably the 3 fatalities.
I bet, man.
Really old movie says, "Sup, everyone. My grandpa used to let us play a game similar to this, but with kitchen knives. Needless to say, my mom freaked out, and then when she found out with kitchen knives, wow. Let's see. John A. Douglas says, I used to dodge those lawn darts. We threw them up in the air and ran away before so the kids knew they were dangerous.
Yes, I'm telling you.
6,000 kids went to the hospital in the 70s and 80s. They were finally banned in 1988. Let's see. Nope, lawn darts are long gone. Every collectible, especially if any of the darts have any air dry blood for victims. Oh, okay, they're very collectible. Okay, very cool. All right, well, they were told to destroy them. So
don't touch them, man. You're rubbing the blood off.
Can you imagine one guy on eBay trying to sell one with like rub with blood on it?
Yes, blood still on it.
All right. So the next one here is a Barbie. Now, out of Barbie's career and hobbies, this one from the 1990s definitely caused a firestorm. A cigarette lighter-like device in her skates would legitimately shoot out sparks when rolled on a flat surface. Blade over anything flammable, and you've got a major problem. So do you remember these? Do you ever see any of your friends or anybody have one of these?
No, man, I saw Barbie dolls in the stores, but
okay, this one, on her rollerblades. You don't remember rollerblades, yes. Right? Yeah, so it would spark when you would roll her. So then you would roll her, she would be flying.
Do you remember rollerblades? Do people not rollerblade anymore?
I don't know.
Is that archaic now?
I believe it's on a comeback. But yeah, these Ken and Barbie would roller skate. Yeah, Barbie Gotta Go Fast is what they're called. And the commercial even showed them like sparking. So yeah, if you were over anything flammable, gas, paper, hair, you would catch on fire. So yeah, they I don't know if they were banned or anything, but I believe there was a recall on them. So yeah. So if you have any of these are probably a collectible as well. Yeah, Barbie Gotta Go Fast, I think is what they're called. Actually, I think that's the real name of them. So anyways, Don't buy any cigarette lighters for your kids, folks. Don't do that. All right. So the next one here is a Cabbage Patch doll. Do you remember these?
I remember these.
Yeah. So kids could feed dolls plastic carrots and French fries, but get too close, and the powerful mechanical jaws would chomp down just about anything, including fingers and hair. Ultimately, Mattel bit the bullet, and offered a $40 refund to some 500,000 owners or potential victims of this doll. So yeah, I guess they would chew on those little plastic things and pretend they're eating.
So you had Barbie lighting the stogie, and you got the Cabbage Patch, I guess, biting the ends off.
Yeah. Let's see. I want to see a survival video on YouTube, and some grizzled mountain man whips out a Barbie to start a fire. Oh, ooh,
a survivor.
You could do that on Naked and Afraid, because you're always allowed to bring one thing from home on Naked and Afraid. You could probably bring that. That might work.
That is going to be some woman, but she would be so respected. She pulls out a Barbie, and you think, oh, she's going to be useless, and they need fire, and she actually like, shh, and gets that thing going. You like, oh snap! You here for fun?
Yeah. I think everyone watching TV. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know if I want my kid playing with any of these, but the most terrifying one I would think would be the lawn dart, but that would probably be the most.
Yeah, but I mean, we had BB guns, and I got shot in the eye, so I mean, that's why I say kids are going to find a way to stress.
You got shot in the eye?
Yes.
Okay. And you still have it?
Yeah, I still got it. Thank God. I'm halfway blinded, and my healing factor hasn't kicked in yet after all these years. Yeah, man, it was a miracle. It didn't hit my eyeball; it hit the eyelid, so it bounced off the eyelid instead of being higher up and major damage. But my the eye specialist, so my whole eye was red, anyway, my whole eye was red. And then Christmas time, it's funny because the doctor said it like shook up my blood vessels like a snow globe, and I had to wait for them to like settle down to go back to the white eyeball or whatever. Yeah, that was a crazy time for me.
Wow. Yeah, that does sound like a crazy time. Let's see. Rick says the chemistry sets from the 50s that actually came with decaying radioactive material. Now that is a toy. Yeah, you know what? That was on the list on some of these. So maybe next week we'll talk about that one. Now, before we move on to the next topic, someone told me, speaking of childhood, someone told me you have a thing for Nala.
Am I the only one?
And there's video.
What does that look like to you? Is the bear? Is the guy? Seems more of a game warden thing to me.
Well, it's illegal, Burton. I know that.
Hey, man, that is a measure of my T levels there, okay? If you see me doing that, then hey, step lively, okay? Watch what you're doing. It's high T, loud man out there.
Hey, no problem. At least you know what you can thank you can thank R2 for that wonderful clip.
Thank you for showcasing the Nala smash me eyes. Okay, I'm not the only person that appreciate it. I'm just acknowledging what the artist put before me.
Where'd you get the cowboy hat? Where'd that come from?
Rodeo. Rodeo. Me and Ego was at.
Oh, there we go. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I like it. It's got a feather in it.
It do. It does.
Nicole says she also loves the sweater. Look at
Oh,
that.
thank you. Now, this is not the R2 said he wasn't gonna say. This is actually my wife's sweater.
Oh.
This is actually my wife's sweater. I have I can't find my Star Wars one.
It looks
It's
good on you.
somewhere. So this is the only one that I can find. Yes, it's extra big, so it fits. But this is the terrible Grinch that came out recently. This is. I'd rather have the Jim Carrey Grinch or
Oh,
the
that does
classic
look
Grinch.
different.
Yeah, that's the lame Grinch.
The lame Grinch. Okay.
The sweater's cool, but this Grinch,
Yeah.
he's trash. That movie was trash.
So, are you a fan of the Christmas classics?
Yes.
Yeah. So tonight, our main topic is going to be about Charlie Brown's Christmas. There's a lot of backstory to this that I didn't even know. Did you know?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
I'm sure I did it.
So normally we talk. If you're new to the show, we normally have a main topic of the show, and it gets cut out later for the video. So tonight we're gonna deep dive into the flop that never was, and that's a Charlie Brown's Christmas. This one, it's not even really I wouldn't consider it a movie, and I guess it's a short film, right? It's like 15 minutes. It's not a very long thing. Do you agree? Like you could literally watch this quickly, but we watch it all the time.
Yeah, when I watched it recently, for the stream, I wasn't the biggest Charlie Brown fan. It was just one of those things that always came on. Just people would always show, especially in school and then at home too. But when I watched it, there was a bunch of like segments, so there were multiple. So I don't exactly like. I saw this one. This was the first one, but then there were multiples after.
Yeah, so there's like been quite a few different. There's Charlie Brown's, the Great Pumpkin. There's a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. There's all kinds of Charlie Browns.
No, I'm talking about they were all Christmas themed.
Yeah.
One movie.
Okay.
Charlie Brown Christmas. So there was this one where they were doing the pageant. There was the short where he was trying to sell wreaths. He was trying to buy the gift for. Okay. All right.
Those all came later because this was the original.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they just put them all together in that one movie that I watched, I guess.
Yeah, but when it first aired on TV, everyone, this was also before my time and your time. Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the Peanuts Gang have been entertaining people since Charles Soult's comic strip debuted in 1950. Eventually, the group would make the move to television. So at the time, television, there was probably maybe a handful of channels in the 50s and 60s. So it wasn't like today where you have a bunch of these awful streaming services. While Linus's love of the Great Pumpkin has risen to fame because most people think that was like the bestest one, A Charlie Brown's Christmas is still definite the Peanuts special. So it's the one that literally just kicked it off. It's the one that started it all. It's the one that got it to us where we know Charlie Brown and his friends today, which is pretty cool. So like I said, it introduced a new medium to the Peanuts because they were only in comics strips, like in newspapers. Do you remember reading comics in newspapers when you're?
Yes, I do.
There's still some out there. If you get newspaper, there's still some out there, but there used to be a whole section. I remember when I was a kid, there would be a whole page for comics.
Like,
and you would I'll take this, see ya.
Yeah.
And you would pretend you're reading the paper with your dad or whatever, but you're reading and you would read like the Peanuts and what was another one, the one with the other family. There was like a family, I don't remember, maybe the circus family, I can't remember, but there was those
Family Circus. Yes, that was one. Garfield. I know Boondocks came out later, but I know that was later. There was one with there was a dog. There was a yellow dog.
Calvin and Hobbes came out. Yeah.
Calvin and Hobbes. The one was it Dilbert? Was he
Dilbert? Yes.
Dilbert was. Yeah.
And Farside. Farside was like a non-political, like correct strip that people enjoyed. Now, the Solstice comic strip had grown in popularity in the decade and change that it had been in existence. An attempt to branch out from funny pages was on the horizon, really. It began with a Charlie Brown's Christmas. So this was in 1965 when they aired this show. So it was about 15 years after he started. They wanted to start with a documentary idea. So there was a producer Lee Medelson, and had wanted to make a documentary for TV about Solch and the Peanuts. Solch agreed to the idea, and Solch also recommended animator Bill Melendez for the project, which needed a bit of animation. They couldn't find a home for the project, but these three all ended up working together on a Charlie Brown's Christmas. So this show was worked on with three people: an animator, a producer, and then the Solch, the writer, the lead guy, which is crazy, right? You know, nowadays when people make cartoons, it's thousands of people.
Yeah, man, it's I
Isn't
don't
that
know.
wild?
Yeah, I was like, we don't have to stay there too long on me ranting about animation or just how current day. I don't think we have any like iconic characters, but to see how like even the superheroes, how it just took a small group of passionate people to create something, and see how those characters are still important or recognized now. Whereas the stuff that's being put out now,
you don't even know them. You
don't know them. People don't remember them 2 months from now.
Exactly.
If that.
It's and you talk about a lot of this on your other shows, but it's wild. Like, I only remember people from the past. I don't really know like some of the cartoonists. So it's crazy that it took three people to make this 15-minute or 20-minute show. And it exploded after that because they kind of did it afterwards. Pretty amazing. Now, they had to be sponsors because back in the 60s and the 50s, if you know from watching old TV shows, there wasn't just multiple commercials. There was one commercial, and it was one product. And so for this show, Coca-Cola wanted to do it. Things go better with Coke, by the way. Did you know that?
I've heard that. Although I'm not a lover of Coke, it does make greasy foods taste better.
It does. Yeah.
Hands down.
And some Coke makes people lively. Medelson got a call informing him that the Coca-Cola company wanted to sponsor a special for the holiday season. This is where the idea of Peanuts Christmas special began. However, the soft drink juggernauts put the project under a time crunch. They wanted a full outline of what a Charlie Brown Christmas would be less than a week after pitching their interest. And once they heard the outline and agreed to sponsor it, then they wanted it ready for early December, which gave them only 6 months to do. So they did that 15-minute drawing, hand drawing, coloring, writing, animation, recording, editing, probably 6 months they had. Do you think that would happen today? Do you think they have too much time to do stuff for animation?
Man, I think people have too many cooks in the kitchen and things take so long because you got so many factors that affect people who are just trying to make passion projects and something great. So I think a lot of that stuff is the hang up. But again, with the independents coming out creating stuff, I think if some of us come together, which we are, it's looking good. I don't look to the mainstream to be entertained at all. Yeah, man, I think some of us, we're going to come together like those have, and we will continue, and we're going to put out some cool stuff. And I truly believe that, yeah, man, instead of looking to others to entertain us or to give us something that's worth like watching and remembering and holding on to, we can be those creators. We can create art and profit at the same time, and impact the next generation. Don't let them just continue to be lost and just accept everything that's coming out now as the standard, as this is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. It seems there was a lot of passion in these projects back in the day, right? They wanted to make sure it was all nice and a bow, good, but they knew they had to do it in a certain amount of time, but they didn't rush it. They still put in the work. They knew they were going to have the long hours to get it done. I don't think nowadays I think people would complain about this deadline and Like, well, I can only work 4 hours a day, so there's no way I can do it. And so, yeah, a handful of old school hand drawn animators would leave a modern studio in the dust. That's what Beard of Liberty says. I would agree, but no. So Coca-Cola wanted to sponsor it, so said we're going to sponsor it for you. So that's great. They were going to do that. The newer versions do not show anything Coca-Cola, but if you watch this back, if people in the chat are a little older, they might remember the Coca-Cola endorsements in the show. So Schultz came up with a lot of ideas himself. Schultz wrote this script for the show, though he collaborated with Maldez, who did the storyboards. Maldolson, who was involved as well. However, much of what we think of as being the core of the special came from the man who created the character. He came up with the Charlie Brown's Tree, also the jazz heavy score. Most notably, Schultz is the one who wanted Linus to straight up read a Bible verse. His collaborators were concerned it would be controversial, even in the 60s. But Schultz was steadfast. So do you remember from the cartoon where Linus reads the true meaning of Christmas and the Bible verse? They weren't sure of adding that back then, even in the 60s. Do you think they would be able to add that today, that Bible verse?
Man, what do you mean? When you say it, do you think they would be able to? I think if people did their own thing and decided we want to.
So this was going to air on CBS in 1965. So if this was going to air in CBS today, first time ever.
No, I mean, nah, man. People got issues with you just saying Merry Christmas and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I do have a clip of that. We'll see if YouTube takes me down for it, but hopefully not. But it's a nice little thing to remember about the show. So let me see if I can play it here. So let me know if you can hear it.
I cannot.
No?
Lights, please.
Oh yeah.
And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. The glory of the Lord shone round about them.
So they almost took this out, but they left it in.
Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men.
And that was the verse. That little addition there. They were, even in the 60s, they were cautious of adding that, and I think that's too bad, but it worked, right? Because Charlie Brown's really upset. He's not really, no one cares about my show, and everything's bad. I got a terrible tree, and Linus comes out of nowhere to tell him, it's Christmas isn't about really the stuff. It's about the people. So I always thought that was cool. So did you like that? Do you like that they left it in?
Yeah, I grew up Christian. I still identify as a follower of Christ. And when I say identify, it's just because, look, man, I'm not gonna get into the whole organized religion.
No, you're good. You're good. I just want to make sure, like, you're fine. You don't have to. I'm just saying, like, this. It was just amazing. Even in the 60s, people were cautious of playing that sort of thing. So, it's just interesting. Also, another thing that they did not include. So in the 60s, a lot of the TV shows had laugh tracks. Do you remember those? Like where when someone would say a bad joke, like we just did earlier, there would actually be laughter, but it'd be fake.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of like
I'm not that young, man.
Well, you look young. Let's just put it
I appreciate it. I'm 30, if whatever that means to anybody. Okay. I remember laugh tracks. Rollerblades, newspapers, good times. You
know what? I'm sorry.
So,
All right. Okay. Well, in this, Solch didn't want a laugh track. He actually wanted to not have it. The studio, the TBS, they wanted to add it in, and he basically said, no, they wanted to use a laugh track and try to, and Solch's like, no, I don't want one. I want it to be natural. So if people aren't laughing at what we're doing, it is what it is. So, but he just stood his ground and didn't want it. So R2 says you're a baby for being 30. So you're 10 years younger than me, by the way. So.
Oh, okay. Well, hey man, y'all look good. Y'all look good. Y'all, all you dudes with these full beards talking about I'm all young. I'm trying to feel spots in on mine.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to look good like y'all in 10 years still.
Well, I use a serum.
Oh yeah, and werewolf healing factor, regenerative ability.
Yeah. It looks good.
All that good stuff.
Let's see. I'm glad Charles Solch pushed for what he wanted. Yeah, me too. As the creator, it's good that he did, right? Because nowadays there's creators out there, and they're just like, do whatever you want with it. They don't have the guts to, yeah. Wow, a creator who stood by his own version or his own vision instead of blowing to corporate overlords. What a concept! Yeah, or did I say blowing?
You said
wow.
I say bowing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well there we go. That's because
I was like, well, if Joker would have said blowing, then yeah, we were on the same page. Because I think a lot of dudes, creators, just bend over and just take it. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's funny. Good stuff. Fun fact, beards are good for your skin, keeps it looking younger, but you just can't see it under the beard. That's what Beard says. So he's working on it. Don't shame the beard. He's working on it.
I got the chin strap going.
You're good. You have some facial hair. That works. Okay. So they had to create a new dynamic for the characters because no one's ever heard at this time in the 60s. They did not know what Charlie Brown sounded like. By doing a television special, the Peanuts characters were given voices for the first time. That means they had to figure out what these characters would sound like. They decided that Charlie Brown would sound blah, like he is. And while Lucy would be bold, for example, additionally, they also decided Snoopy would not talk, which makes sense, right? Your dogs don't talk. They make funny noises. So
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
It's not off the table, man. But I'm fine with the creative.
He was on something, so maybe that's what.
You're right. Maybe it was only Shaggy actually
he was on Scooby Snacks. Yeah, maybe Shaggy was the only one talking to Scooby, and meanwhile he was talking like Snoopy. And I thought that was clever, right? Because Snoopy would always have these like sounds, and you would know his reaction based off him, the character, and in some of the voice that he would say. I was a big fan of Snoopy. And then you had all the other characters, Linus, that was kind of a younger kid, but it was pretty cool. Now, the casting of the voices were also unusual at the time. Instead of hiring adults actors to voice children, as cartoons often do, the Charlie Brown's Christmas decided to use actual child actors. This made things more complicated for a casting standpoint. Sometimes the kids also needed to be told their lines, as their reading skills were not necessarily all up to snuff. Peter Robbins, who voiced Charlie Brown, has joked that when he was first given lines readings by Mendez, he also mimicked his Mexican accent. So the kid was trying to sound like the guy, and Charlie Brown was Spanish for a moment. That's pretty cool, right? I know another cartoon from the 90s. Was it Hey Arnold? Those were all kids as well. So
I see that. I haven't looked at the voice actors, but I mean that's cool if it was.
I believe they were. I believe some of the kids were actually kids. Do you like that they used the kids? Because it's a kid show. It's more kids relate to kids, I think.
I do, and I'm not opposed to child actors. I just think, man, big corporations, like all of that. I just think when all of that gets involved, it really sends stuff in a like more evil trajectory. But I do think kids being like, if that's your talent, then if you have a talent for it, use it, showcase it, profit off of it if you can. I did like hearing, because I haven't watched a Charlie Brown anything in years. Since I've been out here in Texas, so that's been 3 years. So I haven't, yeah, so I haven't heard these voices in a while. So when I heard them, I was like, oh man, these are real kids.
Mhm.
And it's crazy when you think about, because I can remember being like the ages of these kids and like some of the child actors that you will see in some projects. And I was like, I don't think I was aware enough to have some dialogue that this kid just said, just espoused. So I'm like, that's a real talent.
Mhm.
And
Well, it
yeah, I
does.
don't think it messes all of them up. I think it's
Yeah,
just
I think,
yeah,
and for some, for this, it works. Like casting kids is always a risk, but when it works, it makes the story feel more genuine. And I think
yeah,
that's why the Peanuts were so loved. Like kids reacted to them because they sounded like them,
yeah.
and adults knew they were kids, so they're like, "Oh, that's cute. Like my kid does that." So I think it helped a lot for the show to be accessible as it was. Um, Joker says animated boy characters are generally voiced by women. Yeah. In this case, they were all the same gender of the cartoon, so which was pretty cool. So that's another little fact there. Mendez or Mendez did double duty. Snoopy couldn't talk, but he does make noises. Those noises were provided by himself. He recorded himself making gibberish noises and then speeding them up so they wouldn't sound human. So that's how he did Snoopy. It's pretty cool. Lucy is usually casual with Charlie Brown. Peppermint Patty calls him Chuck, and Lucy calls him Charlie Brown. You know, she always kind of says his name. When
Mhm.
Lucy is talking to her downtrodden counterpart, she always refers to him by his full name. This is true for every future special, and almost primarily for this one, except once. In Charlie Brown's Christmas, Lucy calls him just Charlie for the one and only time. So that's an interesting fact. That's pretty cool. She was always mean to him. She was always mean to Charlie Brown. Um,
She was, but as I'm watching this, she gave him the job of being the director of the play. So I was like,
mhm.
I don't remember this character doing anything nice like that. Like everybody
I
else was like, Charlie, you chose him. And she's just like, hey, shut up. He's the man. Listen to him. And I was like, hey, good on
I
you.
I have a feeling, you know the old saying, when girls were mean to boys, they liked them.
Yeah.
I think it's because she liked him.
That's what I think. That's what I was.
Maybe they ended up high school sweethearts and ended up marrying and having 3 kids and 5 dogs. Who knows? So.
Mhm.
No, yeah, she was always mean to him, but I think there was a meaning behind it. Yeah, the football gang, yeah, is what they were called. Let's see here. So now this animation came with really great music. Eventually, Charlie Brown's teacher would be added to the animated mix, though her voice was never heard. But that would be in later specials. Do you remember the adults in? So there were no adults in this one, but later in the. Do you remember adults in Charlie
Mhm.
Brown? They would always sound like a rah, 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 like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought that was funny.
I'm
But
old
that
enough.
yeah, there are no adults in this one, but in the future they added them. But no, the music was unconventional at the time. There are traditional Christmas songs in the special, a couple of which were sung by a church choir from San Rafael in California. However, much of the music was composed by Vince. I'm going to probably mispronounce this. Guardioli, I think it's called, a jazz musician at the time. One of the songs he wrote was the famous "Christmas Time Is Here." Do you remember that song from the episode? Christmas time, the one at the end
Yeah.
there. Yeah. However, Medelson is the one that wrote the lyrics, which he said he did in 15 minutes Nevertheless, the soundtrack is in the Germany Hall of Fame or Grammy Hall of Fame. Sorry, not Germany. Wow, Grammy Hall of Fame. So that's pretty cool. So the soundtrack is one of the best, I guess, for a cartoon. That's pretty. That's a nice thing to say. I do like the music in this show, so I thought it was nice. Let's see. Joker says wah wah womp wah wah, but mama, my dog really did eat my homework. Wah wah womp womp. Yes, ma'am. That's pretty accurate. Oh, really? You were born in the town? Okay. Maybe you know the church. That's pretty cool. Good to know, Joker voice. Let's see. A lot of the songs are real famous though from this show. So, and most people know. My wife loves the last song of the episode. The Christmas time is here. So remember, they only had 6 months to do it. They finished the special just under the wire. They thought they can get the special done in time for the broadcast, and they did. That being said, they didn't finish with a ton of time to spare. Charlie Brown Christmas was completed a mere 10 days before it aired on, I think it was early December in 1965.
Nice. Got it in.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I don't think that would happen today. I literally think they'd be like, oh, we need another month. Can you push it?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Now the expectations were not optimistic. This is where the flop comes in. Once the special was finished, spirits were not high. Melendez believed he had directed a flop, saying that they had killed it. And he wasn't meaning what we mean today when you knock something out of the park. CBS executives were also negative on the special, and Mendelsohn has said that had the special been scheduled for even a week later, it wouldn't have aired. So CBS was really steadfast, and you need to have it. And if they barely made it, and if they would have never aired it if they didn't make the deadline, so you would never have had a Charlie Brown Christmas, and maybe never had the others. So a lot of even people at CBS were like, "Meh, I don't think this is going to work." Pretty interesting, right? How big it is now, how popular this little 15-minute show is. It's pretty wild. Knowing what they put out today, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you took this and took something from today, you would probably pick this, most likely, right?
Yeah, because I mean, even I would say something like this. I grew up with Charlie Brown, but it was before my time. It was just popular enough to keep on to stand the test of the time. But then you said, "Hey Arnold," like we're talking about. Now I don't remember a Hey Arnold Christmas special. I'm sure there was a Christmas episode, but I mean, like those. That was more my time. Those were my kids that I hung out with on TV, my animated friend group. But I said that to say that there's something to learn, to take from characters like this, I think, and to translate it over into like your own work. Like the Looney Tunes, for example, is a big inspiration for some of the stuff I'm working on. As opposed to, like I said earlier, stuff that comes out now. Oh man, I almost went in on Disney real quick. I don't want to do that, but just saying how like you don't see people taking risk. It's all safe because we're going to take something that you already know, as opposed to just, hey, let's make this new thing.
And this was a risk for everybody, right? Because no one knew Peanuts was going to be what we know today, and no one there were doubts. Really, there was some real doubts.
This scene right here, where Lucy, because as I'm watching this, then he was like, "Give me a good reason of why I can't like wear my blanket," and she was like, "I'll give you 5 reasons why." I was like, "Wow, I would love to hear something like that
today."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just be bold. Hey.
Yeah, she was bold. They made her bold. Now, as we all know, it was a big success. A Charlie Brown Christmas preempted the Munsters on December 9th, 1965, and it finished second in the ratings that night to Bonanza. Of course, back then, it meant that roughly 45% of all TV viewers were watching the special. That's a lot of people back in 1965 if 45% were watching. It also got positive critical reviews and ended up winning the Emmy for Outstanding Children's Program. So think about that. There was probably maybe a handful of channels, and 45% of America was watching this show on December 9th, 1965. That's crazy, right? That's I don't know the numbers on that. I don't know the math on that, but that seems like a lot of people.
Yeah.
It became a television staple in the end. Charlie Brown's Christmas was a big hit and aired on CBS annually from the initial debut in 1965 all the way through 2000. And I remember too, and you know what my mother-in-law tells me all the time, she says, look, I would always open up the TV guide and make sure I highlighted Charlie Brown's Christmas, and I had to make sure I was watching the TV at that specific time, or I'd miss it, and I would have to wait a whole entire year. It wasn't like we do to now where you can stream something and watch it over and over and over, which you should do on my channel. You should watch all my stuff over and over.
Yeah.
Same with AJ's. But it's just interest, right? And then ABC got the rights, and it was Disney, and aired it from
Do you remember ABC? And they would play, they would have their for Halloween, it was 31 days of Halloween, 25 days of Christmas, stuff like that. So, yes, man. I don't know.
That good times. That aired from 2000 through 2019. And they also produced a documentary hosted by Whoopi Goldberg. Too bad. To air alongside it in 2001. Now, Apple owns it now, and you can stream it on Apple. But we own a DVD and a VHS version of this, and that's how we watch it now. We watch it that way. Disney had it for a little bit, and then it was, I think Apple bought it from there. I think Freeform has it now. Okay, all right. And also, someone else mentioned that, not even in 1965, not everyone had a television in their home, which is interesting too. That 45% of America was watching this show. People, let's see, Alaska Jeff says people were much more forgiving for animations back then. Nowadays you have to be either high quality or over abstract, it seems. Yeah, there were errors in this this film. There were. Let's see, I'm pretty sure my family owned a recorded from TV VHS for many years before we upgraded. Yeah, most people had that. Had the little commercials in there. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. So now Charlie Brown Christmas is now part of the modern TV landscape. Back when this special first aired, there were 3 channels. There you go. And almost half of the people watching TV watched it. Isn't that amazing? 3 channels, and half of people in America were watching it. It's just mind-blowing. Things have changed. Apple TV Plus now owns the rights to all Peanuts media. This includes TV specials. However, the agreement says that Apple TV must take a Charlie Brown Christmas free to view for 3 days around the holiday every year. Well, that's kind of a cool perk.
Yeah, that's cool.
To kind of carry that tradition. I'm glad Apple did something cool for once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Schultz, even to this day, is like, hey man, don't mess with my stuff.
I know, right? He's like knocking on the door. Yeah. Changes have been made to the special throughout the years. The initial broadcast, like we said, had several references to Coca-Cola. However, as the years went out and the laws changed, all of those references were removed. Over the years, other changes were made to the special. Mostly they were corrections to errors in the animation and sound effects. The one scene of Linus throwing a snowball at a tin can has been removed for some reason. I'd never seen that scene. I think it's on the original. So, Beard, if you have a copy, maybe you can find that scene and show us somehow. Yeah.
I think that's the one I saw, because Linus, he's the one with the blanket, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he used it like the was that supposed to be a David and Goliath reference, where he put the snowball in the blanket, swung it around?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
And he hit the tin can.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it not many changes, so that's good, right? Now this was the one fact that I found about this whole show was so fascinating. So, do you remember the scene where they're trying to look for a Christmas tree, and they go to the aluminum tree tree yard, Well, back in the 50s and 60s, aluminum trees had become a fad. A Charlie Brown Christmas was very much against these aluminum trees. And it may have played a role in killing the fad. Many feel like A Charlie Brown Christmas is a reason these fake trees were no longer popular. And by 1967, these trees were no longer being manufactured. So you remember that scene where he bangs on the tree and he's like, this isn't Christmas, this is fake.
Yeah, that's the commercialization of the holiday.
Yeah, and Charlie finds his little Christmas tree with his little ornament. He's all happy there with it. And they literally killed an industry.
Mm-hmm.
pretty amazing. Pretty cool. I thought this was like one of the more interesting facts. So to end our little video, our little segment here, I'm going to end with the a little bit of one of my favorite tunes of the whole thing. Apple.
Iconic dances.
Dirty Kid. Yeah, it was pretty cool, right? And I remember where I took myself off. That was pretty funny. I remember that you can always say like, "Oh, that's my friend, the Dirty Kid."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know that girl. Yeah, Pigpen is his name. Yep. Oh, I need to water my tree. Yeah, go water. If you have a real tree, take a break. Go water it.
Put your headphones in and take us with you to water the tree.
Now they have new fake tree industry because of those tree huggers. Yeah. The new trees look like real trees. It's pretty wild. Maybe we need another show to bring us back. So there you go. There is the little fun fact stories of the Charlie Brown Christmas. I hope you enjoyed talking about that. I did. I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah. How long you planning to go? Because you can't take me back to Christmas and we not just sit here and reminisce. You're gonna make me go put on some hot cocoa in the minute.
We are a little over the hour. We did. I usually go an hour, so we are a little over. So I do apologize if I went a little over. But I had so much fun talking about your dogs and stuff, so it went a little over. But we'll wrap it up here soon. But like I said, if I don't mention, now there's one thing I do want to show. It's not Bigfoot, but it is something to kind of end the show with a laugh. And hopefully you don't end up like this on Christmas season when you're out hanging out with your squad. So let's see if we can get this to play here. So this guy's going to jump this fence and see if he makes it.
What?
He made it. He made it over.
Man, go move your bodies. Just
there we go. So hopefully you don't end up like that guy on Christmas.
That definitely won't be me.
Yeah, too much Christmas cheer in his system. Well, AJ, let's see here. I'm glad I stopped battling the tree so I can watch. Okay. I love Charlie Brown Christmas. Going to make hot cocoa or hot chocolate with spirits. In my Charlie Brown Christmas mug. Hey, that's great. I love that. That's awesome. Well, AJ, I've had a great time hanging out with you, talking about your dogs, Christmas. Is there anything before we end the show? Is there anything you like to remind or say to anybody for the Christmas, to kind of give them some Christmas spirit? Anything you would like to say?
Nah, man, I told you I'm a Scrooge. Just be good to people, okay? Goodwill towards men, all that good stuff. Just do that. Maybe. No, I'm not trying to sound profound or anything. Be a good person this season, okay?
Just be a good person. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with that.
Appreciate everything that you got. We'd have made it to the year. Well, we're making it to the end of the year, but I would say just try to go harder next year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say be more productive, but let's be more purposeful. And it's something I got to make sure I'm doing myself, but just being more purposeful with our time and with our will, because the enemy is out there and they don't stop. So yeah,
I
man.
agree. So keep active out there, be kind, and
Be purposeful.
be purposeful. I like it. Well, again, thanks for coming on. Are you doing anything in the next week? Or are you doing anything for this weekend? Or you want to pitch or anything? You're more than welcome to share.
No, man, I stream on Tuesdays.
Okay.
All I'm gonna say is just subscribe to the channel. Do that and be along for the ride. We'll see what happens.
Awesome. All right.
On
I
the
appreciate
channel.
it. All right, everyone. You have a good night. And if I don't hear from you or see you on the next episode, have a good holiday and have a good Christmas. And be safe out there.
Peace.
Later. See ya.